and welcome to Fort Mill Business Today. I'm your host, Patty Mercer, here with Shaw Kuester and Troy Barlow to talk about the revitalization of Main Street, Fort Mill. Welcome, guys.
Good afternoon.
How are you? Now let's begin with you, Shaw Kuester. We see your name around town. I'm so excited to be able to talk about the development and the exciting businesses that are on their way.
We're having a good time getting everything close to turning over to the tenants here. So we're probably about 30 days out for both buildings, both the 200 block of Main Street as well as the old Center Theater. So we are getting close to that point, but everybody's ready to take over and to start to build out their spaces.
Now, you were the president of Kuester Commercial, and you saw a vision for this square footage, basically. Tell me how you two connected and the process of doing such a big project, maybe not in size, but the fact that there's so much historical markings and preservation, and it's old.
You want me to go first, or?
Yeah, I think Shaw and one of the founding partners of Ferrara Buist, David Buist, are on the Fort Mill Economic Council. So they had been friends and acquaintances for a long time. I think that's where it started. And they kind of probably shared a vision for what could happen here. They're both big proponents of Fort Mill, and so they worked together and came up with a plan.
Which is vital to making any plan actually work. You have to have the developer to see the opportunity, and then to find someone that has the experience, knowledge, and all the equipment to get in and do the work. What led you? Did you guys have a relationship prior to on the Economic Council board, or did you kind of just accept and look out there to different companies to see who you felt would be the best fit for this project?
The Ferrara Buist group is on the Economic Council, which is helpful because a lot of it is based in the town of Fort Mill, both downtown and the boundaries of Fort Mill. When we do a project, we always will bid it out, just because we still are working for somebody, whether it's a different owner or owners, and so we always have to work to the best price. But at the same time, you want to make sure that those people that you bring in do believe in the project. The fact that for our Buist builders, contractors are here in Fort Mill helps, number one. Number two, they're right down the street now, right near Steel Street and Bank Street, so they're in downtown or close to it. That was helpful just because they're close by too, and they always have their eyes nearby on the project. That factored in as well.
I think everybody has their eyes on this particular project.
Yeah, sure.
We've seen that side of Main Street really begin to buzz, and of course the Greens has created such an increase of foot traffic on Main Street. So really, this has the opportunity to continue a formula that seems to be working very well. So what can we expect to see? Tell me about some of the tenants.
Well, going back to the Greens, this is what we hoped would happen. When the Greens started, then the spark would ignite and start the fire, and so that's what's happened. Now that we're getting to this point where for our Buist, and of course Troy and the team that came in and helped here at the theater building, also is helping at 200 block of Main Street, and that's been good too, because I think the tenants see that relationship, they like that relationship, they want to keep hopefully using that relationship. But at Old Center Theater, of course, we've got Courtney Thompson.
Which is where we are right now, in the midst
of
the construction.
With Southern Sugar.
Okay.
And that's going to be the crown jewel of the Old Center Theater, because that's what's going to reignite again the activity. The nightlife that was here with the theater now is going to be with her facility. And that's going to be very exciting.
Yes.
EW Process, who has been here for quite some time, they're moving to the theater, the original theater portion of the building on the first floor. And that's great for them because they're going from, they've been split up from two floors to one floor. So they're excited about that. And then we have Crutch and Sellers, who is a law firm in Baxter. They're relocating down here too. So that's the first 3 tenants out of possibly 5. So we are more than halfway there on this building, and we're not done yet.
So when we talk about 200 block of Main Street, that used to be what?
The knife shop, the photography spot, and Dave's Comics.
Now, from what I know, there had not been a lot of renovation and continued repurposing of these businesses. So what did you find when you started? What you expected, or did you find a few unexpected good discoveries and perhaps some not so good discoveries?
There were a few good discoveries. We found a really nice mural in one of the 200 block buildings from the old grocery store that was there.
Is that the Pepsi that you can
Yes.
see on the right as
Yes.
you're coming up Main Street?
Yeah, so a little bit of
That's gorgeous.
history that'll be able to be displayed
You're
in the
gonna
new
keep it?
space. Yes, yes.
Nice.
We found a lot of unexpected surprises that
Such
weren't
as?
necessarily good. The buildings were neglected through the years, so there's a lot of water damage and stuff like that. I'm sure Shaw got tired of getting phone calls from me. Hey, guess what we found? We're finally through that. And
Let me translate. Cha-ching.
Exactly. Yeah. But we're through that. We're through the surprises. I think we're putting them back together.
We had what? We had a little asbestos, a little bit of termite.
Yeah, in both buildings.
Smattering some subfloor issues, some ceilings, some roof.
Yeah, some missing foundations.
Stir that all around and you got a
Yeah.
new building.
There you go. But the outside is going to be gorgeous.
It is, and I think they'll be ready to stay for another 80 to 100 years.
Easily.
And you know what I also hear from you, even though there's a lot of work to do, within the materials that you found, were you able to repurpose them, use them? What was the mindset in just aesthetic beauty?
The goal is, to keep everything as true as possible to what was there. So most of the flooring was just rotting away, eaten by termites in the 200 block especially. A lot of the old floor joists that came out, we repurposed them and made new hardwood floors out of them. So between the floors and the ceilings, all of the wood, it looks new, but it's original construction materials. So we kept that to kind of add to the character.
Which I know that's very close to your heart, the character. You've seen other main streets, downtowns revitalized. And this vision for Fort Mill, you've had for a while.
We've, from probably 10 or 15 years ago even, when we first started to look at this building, when we saw when some other developers had come down here, a gentleman named Pete Lang had redeveloped a couple buildings, and I was able to come through here early on and see some things that were great visions, great ideas, but until the recession hit, until I think the greens was what kind of helped us see that vision again. It's been exciting. I mean, I'm a history buff. I think growing up in a commercial real estate field with the family company has been exciting to see some of the renovations in places like Savannah and Wilmington and places like that.
Yes.
It's been exciting. So to come and do it here, it's been a lot of fun, and I think we've talked about it before with the local population, with the natives. That is dear to their heart too, and that's what makes it even more fun.
It is. It really is. And I think we're moving towards destination locations. You seek out something unique, something different, not something you can find on intersections everywhere. So what about a time frame? I don't want to jinx anything, but are you able to kind of give us an idea, tease us a little bit?
When are the shells? Within 30 to 45 days, is that what we're thinking?
About the end of July, the shells will be complete,
Wow.
and the
Okay.
tenant upfits will be ready to begin.
Okay. And this is almost like magic happening because we know work is going on inside, but we haven't been able to see it. So it's really a treat to kind of come in and see how you've divided it up to maximize the use. I know a lot of people ask, why can't it be a movie theater? You want to go ahead and answer that? I get asked that a lot.
And I know we talked about this in earlier sessions, but because the fact of putting it back together as a theater would have cost too much money. And for the longest time, I think Chip Smith, who is one of the owners here for the theater building, had tried that, or at least tried to have the Playhouse come in. But he has to pay a mortgage, and it just wasn't there. It wasn't there. So to repurpose it for still a great use for Southern Sugar and for the offices that are coming in, that's exciting. And of course up the street with the two tenants going up there again, to repurpose those spaces from what they were into a dilapidated state into now brand new spaces with a brewery and with a restaurant, that's going to be exciting. It's going to be very exciting.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Yes, Troy?
Well, I was just going to say that a theater would be great, but the brewery, the restaurant, the Southern Sugar here, you're getting just more foot traffic, making it a little bit better of a destination, get people out walking up and down Main Street. I think it'll be wonderful.
So now you can shop, you can get a cocktail, you can go eat, and then you can have dessert, all at different places, right here in Main Street. And all those taxes stay here, which is really nice, especially with growing as we're growing. Is there anything that you want people to know that maybe hasn't been advertised or shared, but is definitely of interest?
I could say, I know we've talked about the names here in the Old Center Theater. The names for the brewery and the restaurant coming up the street, Travis and Steve Tolson, who are brothers, who grew up here, who went to school here, of course, are coming back. Mm-hmm. Travis used to work for Wicked Weed Brewery in Asheville.
That's huge.
And
big name.
Of course, and he's been great. And of course, his brother Steve is moving back up from Charleston, and so together they're going to have a great team. And the name of the brewery, and I hope I don't butcher this, is Armour Artis Brewery. So I believe I have that correct.
I'll go with what you said.
So they're of course they're close to getting the space turned over to them. And then the restaurant, which will be beside them, and they'll share common area space, is the Improper Pig, which is in Charlotte now, and that's run by Will Bigham and his family. And so they've got a couple of restaurants.
They've got a proven track record.
Pizza Peel, Flying Biscuit, and of course Improper Pig. So he's excited to be in this local flair too.
Wonderful. Well, I'm excited to have them here, and I can't wait to see more the opening, and the sign on the door that says, okay, you can come in now and enjoy. All right. Is there anything you want to share that I haven't asked?
I don't think so. The work's been going on for a long time. We'll be happy to see the shell part wrapping up, and very happy to enjoy a beer on the back deck.
Very nice. Yes. To actually see that life happening. How fun. Wow, this is so exciting. Thank you so much for just the vision that you have for Fort Mill. I'm a native, and it means so much to see Main Street revitalized. So thank you, Shaw Kuester. It was a pleasure meeting you and talking with you today, Troy. And next up, we have Courtney Thompson with Southern Sugar, isn't that just fun to say, Cafe, that's going to be coming in right where we are today. So stay tuned.
The past is definitely coming to life at the Fort Mill History Museum, and we invite you to become a part of it. Come and experience our many exhibits and beautiful works of art by talented local artists in the museum's education gallery. Take a trip back in time and experience the rich history of Fort Mill at the Fort Mill History Museum at 107 Claiborne Street. For more information, call 803-802-3646 or go online at info@fmhm.org.
And we're back with more Fort Mill business today with Courtney Thompson from the Southern Sugar Cafe, which will be opening at some point before Christmas.
At some point. I'm thinking one day it's going to happen, yes. No, we're very excited, yes.
Oh, well, I had a chance just to talk to you a little bit before we started. And you said that you sneak in and you actually let the walls talk to you. I gotta find out what you mean by that.
Okay, so I do. I don't tell anybody. No, I sneak in at least once a day, and I just walk around. I let the space talk to me. I was so thrilled when stuff started to kind of come down and the floors started to be pulled up. I was so excited if you can see it down here, which you can't, but they have these big, beautiful black diamond concrete, and they're in the best condition. And I love the space. I love how old it is. I know some of the history. I hear stories about grandparents taking dates into this theater. This has been around for a while. So I kind of sneak in here and I look around and I kind of think, okay, what does this space want to be? What color does it want to be? How much light does it want to have? So I just listen.
Awesome. Tell me a little bit about you. What is your background and this idea of opening the Southern Sugar Cafe?
Sure.
Where did it come from?
Gosh, when I was younger, I started out in restaurants. Absolutely loved it. I was born and raised in Dallas, Texas, and I worked at some great restaurants and hotels. And got to know the ins and outs of the business and loved it. For some reason, I thought I had to go do something else. Like I needed to go get another job. Somebody told me, yeah, you need to go and do something else. I thought, well, okay, I guess if that's what I'm supposed to do. So I did. I got into media and
which is going to be very beneficial as a business owner.
It's very beneficial. So I got into media and have been doing that for the past 10 years and got married and had babies and wanted to go back to school and thought, gosh, I want to be an interior designer. So I started going in interior design with a minor in business, and I did that. And I was talking with my father, and my father is probably my best friend, and he owns a business in Dallas. And I said, Dad, I want to own a business, and I know where my talents are. Like, I know that I want to do this, and I love entertaining, and I want to serve people. And so we kind of started to kind of talk about it, and it took about 6 months for him to say, Courtney, why don't you open up like a restaurant or a coffee bar or cafe? And I was like, somebody hit me in the face. Yeah. That's a great idea. Okay, I'll do that. So it has been a long process. That was, gosh, a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago.
We have to have the vision first.
We have to have the vision first, right? And so we started to develop this idea, and it was a coffee bar. And then I thought, I love coffee, but, I love wine. And so we started to think about the name, okay, and how we were going to get the name. And so we played around with some words. And I'm going to give my husband credit where credit is due, because he's watching. He picked the name, Southern Sugar, and we really kind of started to think about what is my sugar? Like I love sweets, I love coffee, people love wine, they love beer. So we kind of started to piece it together like that.
So tell me, what will you be serving in addition to all these sweet and loving things?
Yes.
That sound delicious.
Yes, they're going to be delicious. And we actually had a little taste test at the Strawberry Festival. So some of the people that got to go there, they tasted our Rice Krispie treats, our sugar cookies, our version of a strawberry shortcake. It was a big hit. Everybody loved it. It was delicious.
Everybody loves strawberry shortcake.
Yes.
But it's a high bar. You got to be able to nail it. And if you went to your focus group at the Strawberry Festival, I cannot think of a better place to get feedback.
We did a pretty good job. Yeah, we did a really good job. Yeah. So to answer your question, what we're going to be is we're a boutique bakery, espresso, and wine bar. Okay. And what we're going to be offering during the evening time, you can come in and sit down, linen service, have somebody wait on you. You can order a bottle of wine, and then you're going to receive a savory menu, and you're going to have the most delicious, just heavy snack stuff that you can have. It's locally sourced, it's homemade. We're going to be partnering with Springs Farm. We're going to be having charcuterie boards, flatbreads, popcorn with butter, sugar, salt, roasted peanuts, all kinds of stuff. Goodness, we're doing a chicken and waffle, but it's going to be absolutely delicious. So, and then we have a full bakery.
Okay.
Our bakery is going to turn about twice a day. So in the mornings you can come in and get your breakfast items, homemade donuts, scones, muffins.
So how long until you open?
Right.
I'm getting hungry here.
I know, I'm getting hungry too.
Yum.
Yes,
my mouth is salivating.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely delicious. And then in the afternoon, when people kind of hit that 3 o'clock slump, right? You need your sugar and your caffeine fix.
Yeah,
you can come in. You can come in. We're going to be having bars, tarts, cookies. We have a cake program. So we're going to have lots of beautiful stuff. We have a wine room going in. We're going to launch with somewhere between 35 to 55 wines. You can buy them by the glass and by the bottle. And we're going to be doing some locally craft beers.
I'm really excited to have this opportunity here on Main Street in Fort Mill. And I understand that you're going to have some outdoor seating. So again, when you drive through Fort Mill, you see energy, you see liveliness, you see people enjoying life as they should.
Exactly. I love this area. My husband was born and raised here, and when he brought me down here, I absolutely fell in love with it. I mean, Main Street is so picturesque. It's that quintessential small town, and everybody knows everybody. Everybody is friendly. It's an amazing place to be a part of. So when we saw the sign, Kuester was opening the space up, I called and I said, "Hey, what you gonna do in that building?" well, what do you want to do?
You're like,
I
"It's
said,
fine."
well, thinking about a coffee bar and let's talk. And so that's how it started. And yeah, the patio is going to be absolutely stunning. Chip and Kuester have been absolutely amazing. They've been so wonderful, letting me, kind of have my creativity flow through the building and with what we want to do with the decor and the concept of the restaurant. So, yeah.
Well, speaking of the decor, you have a real heart for restoring and keeping as much of the original decor as you can. But from what I understand, in the process of restoring historical places, it's not easy. It's time consuming. You find things that can be great discoveries, and you find things that can set you back some money and some time.
Absolutely.
What's your plan? Because obviously you don't even know what that could cost.
We don't right now. We're starting to get an idea, and I'm so in love with the history of this building, the exposed brick that's still sitting behind some drywall right now. The ticket window, the original ticket window is actually right over here behind this wall. We can't see it, but it's behind there, and it's still sitting there. And so what we've done is we've started a GoFundMe page. It's GoFundMe Fort Mill Theater, and you can find it. What we want to do is we're asking the Fort Mill neighbors, the Fort Mill community. If they can donate any amount of money, that goes strictly into the restoration of this building. I know that people wanted a theater, so what I want to do is I want to bring the theater back to them as much as possible. I want to replace a marquee out front. I want to expose the ticket window. I want to use that as a part of the space. And I really want to take all of these walls down, restore, clean up the exposed brick, and so people can really come in and see what the building once was. It's just repurposed in a new way so that these generations can have, enjoy it too.
Yes, and again, it maintains its unique exterior, interior, and the stories that come along. A lot of times it's seeing something from the past that prompts a memory that maybe someone hadn't thought about it a long time. As you've talked about before, the stories that you've heard about going to the movies on Main Street.
I heard a story.
Going to the matinees.
Yes, my grandparents used to date at that theater.
Right.
It's precious, and what I want is future generations to come in here. I want them to get engaged here, have their celebrations, buy a bottle of champagne. My brother and my sister-in-law, they got engaged at the gazebo, and they went somewhere else for dinner, and they came back, they did their engagement photos on Main Street, and so I want to be a part of that. We do. Chris and I, our passion is to bring this space back to something that people can come in and enjoy and make memories.
Well, I can certainly understand why Shaw was so excited to speak with you, because you do share the love that we all have for Fort Mill, the growth that we are seeing. I think the time is more precious than ever before to protect the stories of the past and maintain the unique identity of Fort Mill.
Absolutely.
There's so much rich history. Now we're going to have rich yummies from everything imaginable. I mean, oh my goodness. I am so excited.
We are too.
And I think looking at what is planned on the 200 block of Main Street in Fort Mill, it really creates creative, unique ideas and keeps the flow and options and memory-making opportunities just open.
Absolutely. All of these businesses that have opened up on Main Street, I've made such great friends already. Main and Gray, Aesthetic Addiction, Olives. I mean, I love these people so much. I see them almost every day, and they're so excited about all of these new businesses coming. We want to increase the foot traffic on Main Street. It's beautiful, the parks that we have, the monuments, the trees, the gazebo. It really is extremely, it's very Norman Rockwell.
It is.
It's very Southern living.
Yes.
It is.
And Veterans Park.
Absolutely.
I mean, just so much opportunity just to share, talk, and create new memories that one day will be part of this historic tapestry of Fort Mill. Is there anything that you want to share that I haven't asked you?
I don't think so. Follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook, Southern Sugar Cafe. You can go to our website, southernsugarcafe.com, sign up. Definitely give me your email. I promise I won't email you too often, but I do want to send you updates, email updates, pictures of the space. And if you follow us on Facebook Live, I will sneak back in here and do a couple more live videos.
Yes, your secret's out.
until Shaw stops me.
Just put that hard hat and steel-toed boots
Yeah,
on.
yeah, no heels, no high heels, no.
There you go.
All right.
Courtney Thompson, thank you so
Thank
much
you
for
so
being our
much.
guest today.
Thank you.
And thank you for tuning in with us today on Fort Mill Business Today. I'm Patty Mercer. Until next time, bye-bye.